Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact Power Sports studio. Impact Power Sports, thank you so much. They're awesome. 14 Mile Road in Rockford, Michigan. You can find them at impactpowersportsmi.com. Side-by-sides, ATVs, four-wheelers, three-wheelers, two-wheelers, motorcycles, e-bikes, Yamaha golf carts. The best full-service department. Hey, your lawn looks long. Your lawn looks long. Your lawn looks long. Cut it with a zero-turn radius mower from my friends at Impact Power Sports. Online at impactpowersportsmi.com. 14 Mile Road in Rockford. Go there and shop, or at least go to the website and mention your old pal EZ. Well, I have the results back of my Scrotal Ultrasound. I always do full disclosure. And by the way, yes, thank you to Amy for this t-shirt she gave me some time ago. Very sweet, very cute. I wore it yesterday at Bosco's Pub. It says local celebrity on it, which is just silly. I had experienced some testicular pain not that long ago. And we thought we had the problem figured out because I made it clear to my urologist what had happened. She's actually the PA. See, you don't really get in to see the real doc unless if you got like a tree trunk growing out of your balls. Okay? So I see the PA, and this is all because of this man health issue that I have with my prostate, and that's messing me up. And oh my God, I'm taking some medication so that I don't get up 800 times to go to the bathroom, and it's affected my sex life, and it's just a pain in the ass. And holy shit, I'm getting old. But then I had this horrible discomfort right in there, like I just got kicked right in the nads. And so I explained it to Rachel, the PA, and but there was one thing I was keeping from her, and that was there was another bit of discomfort, and and giving her the symptoms. Pooh Bear says, "Did you tell him everything?" I go, "No, I didn't tell her everything." Well, you have to tell her. I don't want to tell her. It's embarrassing. Turns out, after sexual activity, and I did end up telling this to Rachel, who explained to me it's harmless, what you're feeling, is jizz actually winds up in your bladder when you've got a broken set of hoses like I have. She goes, it feels terrible, but it's harmless. It'll stop when you urinate. Okay, great. She goes, in the meantime, though, she had scheduled a scrotal ultrasound. And I go, "Do you still want the scrotal ultrasound?" She says, "Yes, I want to take a look at that." I go, "Oh, God." So this horribly awkward moment where you go into the room and you strip down and you have to hold your root a certain way. And then she's got that thing with like the trackball and she puts that lube on it, that jelly. And she's like using the trackball like she's playing fucking Call of Duty on my nuts. Cool writes, Zane is giving his own bladder a money shot. Yes, my bladder is now my wife's face. And so she goes, okay, hold it to the right. Hold it. Okay, yeah, hold it down. I'm like moving my twig in all these weird ways. She goes, okay, now move it that way. And then she's like, okay, I got a good look at that. Okay, there you go. Megan asked the question, can you see it in your pee? I don't know. Like if in the toilet, could I see like it like floating around? I didn't really check. It's a great question. Maureen says, my urologist has ordered an ultrasound for me as well, but not on my scrotum, on my kidneys. I think you're telling us something that we don't know. Now, I don't know if you know this, but there is a radiologist shortage in the United States. If you want to get immediate placement, that is, take the necessary steps to become a radiologist, and you'll be working before you know it. Because for some reason there's just a shortage of radiologists. So they do this scrotal ultrasound. The test administrator, that's the lady who I was just telling you about, she does the test, and then those results are sent to the radiologist, who then confers with the doc. Do you concur? I concur. We concur. So I get the results. Now, I am expecting it to say riddled with cancer. But this is what they write. These are the words you want to hear. Unremarkable appearance of testes and epididymis. I believe the epididymis is the network of tubes that, like, where the jizz flies out and leads into that main vein in your joint. It comes from the epididymis. No evidence of testicular torsion. Torsion, which sounds horrible. I think that's like a twisting. Borderline right varicosal. They're suggesting that one of the blood vessels is larger than it should be. Recommended follow-up, CT of abdomen, pelvis to exclude secondary causes of isolated right side varicosal since October 22 of 2023. So, I don't know. I think they're saying they want another look at something else. Who knows? Nick says, all that jogging I've done spun them around each other. No, I don't have it. I don't have it. There's also a small bilateral hydrocellus. I'm not sure what that is. I looked it up earlier today, and I forgot it. It also talks about a small cyst. I have personally viewed the images, discussed the findings with so-and-so, reviewed the interpretation, and I agree. I concur. The blue findings protocol was initiated May 8th, 2024, 11:49, indicating incidental findings and or follow-up recommendations in this indicated. Okay, ultrasound. There is a borderline right varicosal. We talked about that. No retroperitoneal abnormality was noted on CT of 10/22/23. There's no problem here. This all looks good. Amanda says, see, this is the problem with giving people access to their charts. You have to wait until the doctor tells you what it means. Well, it doesn't seem, I think the opening words are, it's unremarkable is the only words I'm really concerned with. And I just looked them up. Varicosal means kind of like a enlarged vein. There's nothing there that isn't easily looked up. But I'm just hoping when I'm reading that there isn't anything that just stands out as something that needs immediate attention. You know? That's what Megan says. Unremarkable is what every guy wants to hear about their balls. Unremarkable is a great way to describe it. Other words that we would like to have incorporated into descriptors for our balls would be delicious, delectable, creamy. These are all things that would also make us happy. Irresistible. You have irresistible balls. Nick writes hefty, but mine are unremarkable. Can you imagine if the doctor said, my gosh, you have hefty balls? But no. Chris says, this is a remarkable set of balls. Doesn't sound bad at all. Well, yeah, if you use it like that, that is true. But if they're unremarkable, by the way, that cyst that they described in one of my them, I forget, it says that sometimes people will be able to do their own self-test and they feel the cyst. And they're, oh my God, I got cancer. I have one of those, but I haven't been able to find it on my own. But they said that oftentimes people will think that a fluid-filled cyst is cancer, and then they freak out and go through a mass. I'm glad I didn't find that, because I do actually have one. They said it's, again, unremarkable. Ben Glaze says, quote, this is what you want to hear. Those look yummy. I sincerely doubt that I or anyone else has been getting their balls examined, and then the person who's doing the examination says, those look yummy. I don't know how I would react to that. Amanda says, I found out that I had hypothyroidism, which I believe means underactivity of your thyroid. But I had to wait until the doctor called me to tell me that and send in a prescription. Oh, yeah, let's hope that the wait wasn't too long. So, ultimately, I'm pretty happy. You know, health is the one thing. As soon as that goes, God damn it, nothing else matters. Holy shit. I had who was it? I had an email the other day on the Shoreliner Striping inbox from audience member Eric, who I had said something and it struck him. Subject line, looking old. Look, I can't even read this email unless I put these goddamn glasses on, these readers on. Dude, I am the same age as you. I totally feel the same as you. I see pictures of me and I say, holy shit, is that really me? I had the same thing last year with the neck shoulder thing as well. It ain't just you, bro. I noticed this the other day when I was at Bosco's, when the gentleman from my church with his wife came in. I recognized him. I was talking to, I think his name's Tim, talking to his wife and him. And then I was looking at his wife, but I don't remember her face. So I'm thinking, did he get remarried? I don't have any, and I know him, but I don't remember his name, or at least I wouldn't commit to his name, because you know me. I'm going to go, hey, Tim. And he's going to go, no, it's Paul. And I'm going to go, oh, fuck, shit. Here we go again. When I saw him from across the restaurant, I was like, my God, he's got to have some terminal disease. Look at him. He's so old. And I keep, until I look in the mirror, I keep thinking that everyone is looking much older than I am. All the people that are my age, in my brain, they all keep rapidly aging. Where in my mind, I know I don't feel old, but in my mind, I'm falsely thinking that I don't look old. But motherfuck. Then when I finally really think about it, I have to see an old picture of myself from even just 6 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God, it's happened to me. Holy shit. It's true. It is happening to me. That comedian Jeffrey Ross from The Roast. Oh, my God. He wasn't a handsome devil when he was young, and now he looks like fucking Shrek. Holy shit. Which, by the way, there was when it comes to the Brady roast, we've been talking about this all week. Did you know that Jeffrey Ross was accused of rape by a chick when she was 15 when Jeffrey Ross started dating her? This article came out years ago on Vulture during the Me Too movement, and I have got to look this up. This chick, 15-year-old chick, started dating Jeffrey Ross when she was that age. He was probably, 35, 36. And there's all sorts of pictures of them arm in arm and smooching and snuggling. She's 15. Oh. And reading the article, and then she eventually came out and said, "Hey, everybody, this is what my life was like. And this is who I was dating when I was a 15-year-old kid." And I don't ever remember hearing a word about this. And it's the representatives for Ross are like that. He's never had any type of interaction with her other than hello, hi, how are you? But I don't believe that. I believe her. And great big article about it. And it never ever caught on. I almost think that back then, when the whole Me Too movement was taking off, that there was so much happening. Each day there was a new story or a revelation or a person coming out and saying, "Hey, this happened to me," that I think everybody got kind of like numb to them, because her case, this woman who was dating Jeffrey Ross when she was a child, she says, well, she did, is unbelievable, truly. And that guy, if you were to go back to the other roasts, they're always joking about him with very young women. He likes very young women. And so there's always, like, Nikki Glazer's busting him about it on one of the roasts. They didn't go so far as to say he's hanging out with underage chicks. They just said young chicks. But fuck. My God. Yeah, I think he's completely gotten a pass. Now, if you remember the way it was when cancel culture was just out of control, all it would take was one day's worth of conversations and a news story going viral to effectively end a career. And I'm not even saying that that's bad or good. In some cases, I think it's very good. For example, if Jeffrey Ross, if he decides to wake up and say, "Yeah, by the way, I did have sex with that 15-year-old girl. I was in a relationship with a 15-year-old girl for years. Until she was over the age of 18. I'm all for canceling that fucker. You don't want a grown man raping kids getting away with it, right? No, I'm all for that. Chris says he does look like a creeper, LOL. Ashley is here and says, "Did you see the executive with Disney got busted on one of those Predator shows recently with a 15-year-old? Ugh. No, I didn't, but I'd like to see that article. All right. Today, Thursday, is a Big Fraud Thursday, and I am excited about it. I have a lot of clips that I still have to pull for Who Are These Free Beers. Ben Glaze and myself will be getting after it for another edition of Who Are These Free Beers. I'm not sure what clips Ben or what show Ben is going to be pulling from, but I have a mountain of evidence against the boys that is just going to be so much fun to talk about. We've got Free Beer interrupting. We got Free Beer and Hot Wings, unnecessary usage of delicious audio. Free Beer doing whiny voice again. The crew going over a TikTok video that I think Hot Wings gets annoyed about, that they're even wasting time on it. And Justin, a very, very unfortunate moment on the show, which leaves no question whatsoever as to how bright or not bright the bulb that is known as Kelly Cheese is. This one was shocking. And that will be featured coming up on the show. Amanda says, I know you all missed the Amanda show, but I will be on Ben and Eric tonight. I got to go to my sleep clinic appointment later all. Having trouble sleeping? Fuck. That's too bad. I hope that works out. Maureen says, I do miss the Amanda show. See you later. Yeah, please don't take Maureen's advice and comment there and mean that you should just throw yourself into the show. However, it usually results in a pretty good beat up. So I guess the proof is in the pudding. Let the ends justify the means. Cole says, I think it's a pretty dim bulb. Yeah, it was a really bad moment on the show from a few weeks ago. Once you start hearing these lack of common sense moments, you tend to hear them all the time. Great question. Chris writes, whatever happened to the Jimmy and Amanda show? Yeah, still in the planning stages, which means it's just a matter of doing it. All I need is a wheel and some time. Spin the wheel. It comes up on a sex topic, and then Jimmy and Amanda bat that sex topic around. I'm all for the Patreon, Jimmy and Amanda talking sex. Talking sex with Jimmy and Amanda. Megan says that Amanda has the wheel. Perfect. The show is done. All we have to do is perform. Or they have to do is perform. I'm not performing. They are the ones performing. Chris is here. Ladies and gentlemen, when one door closes, another opens. Remember how I got usurped as the voice of the West Michigan Ironmen? Lose that job? Fired again? Well, another door is opened. We're still waiting on final details. But word on the street is that your old pal EZ. Hang on, I need my glasses. Is the new public address voice for the Michigan Rangers. Am I getting that right? EZ, our men's team is in need of a PA announcer. There you go. 2024 schedule, the Michigan Rangers. First game, these games are played at Davenport University. EZ is the PA announcer for the Michigan Rangers. They're taking on the Southern Indiana Guardians May 17th at 8 p.m. And then there's other games June 2nd at home, June 2nd, June 8th, June 14th, and June 16th. Wow, all in a row like that. Well, EZ, your old pal EZ, is the PA announcer for those games. Very cool. Thank you so much. Michigan Rangers FC. I'll be promoting that on Facebook. So what type of soccer? It says the National Premier Soccer League. The National Premier Soccer League, NPSL, is one of the largest established men's soccer leagues in the United States with over 90 teams competing across the country. The NPSL is a successor to the Men's Premier Soccer League, MPSL, which was formed in 2002. Affiliated with the United States Soccer Federation. This is cool. Awesome. More stuff to do. Thank you so much. Ryan writes another side gig. Hot damn, you're crazy. Love it, big fraud. Oh, my God. I remember, speaking of Ryan, I got a message that I got to share with you. Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. This was supposed to be played yesterday on the show. Okay? Check this out.
Hello, Big Fraud Zane. It's Donald Trump, of course. You know that, your favorite president. Just wanted to reach out and congratulate you on such a happy Wednesday. I thought you could get me on Q100 and we could talk about it together. I heard the news, the tremendous news, actually, that Lucy Ebel has been ousted from the Ottawa County Board of Commissioners in that tremendous and beautiful, such a beautiful recall vote, actually. I think it's a tremendous opportunity for you, Eric. Have you ever considered running for the commission? Imagine what a Trump endorsement could do in little Ottawa County, little tiny Ottawa County. It would be so great, actually. They love Trump there, Eric, and they would love a Trump endorsed candidate. It's a winning combination. Just think of it as another side gig. You've got 39 side jobs or something like that? They tell me you have so many side jobs. You work so hard. You probably work almost as hard as me, but not quite as hard. Just look at this as adding another job to that long list, Big Fraud. Nobody works as hard as Trump, and nobody works as hard as Big Fraud Zane. So let's make it happen. Great opportunity, actually. This could be a big win for you. You could use a big win. I know you're probably tired of losing, actually, but this could be a big win. Talk to you soon.
Wow. Well, that just kind of dropped in out of my lap. Aren't I lucky? How wonderful is that to hear from the president? Megan says, I thought Trump and Lucy would be besties. No. She adds, they turned on John Gibbs, and he's a Trump supporter. Meanwhile, concerning soccer, Kenny wrote, don't you hate soccer, though? Well, yeah. He says, better go edit out all those times in the past that you've talked shit about soccer. No, not necessary. I would never do that. You see, PA work, it's essentially, like acting or voice work. And you can absolutely tell me to like soccer and then hand me a check, and I'm going to be the biggest fucking soccer fan on the planet. You better believe it. I'll fucking all that shit. Big time soccer fan. Ryan adds, hopefully this gig is easier than the gold. I was mesmerized by how much you had to do during the basketball game. Interesting story about that. The very first basketball game I did was 10 years ago. And it was with the Grand Rapids Drive. They were known as the Drive then. And I had never done basketball in my life. And I sat down and started doing it and was lost. It was so bad that at about halftime, I had made up my mind that I was not going to do it anymore, that I was going to say, hey, this isn't for me. I can't do it. Because I was fucking up so much shit. And I decided against it and decided to keep the job. And it ended up working out. But you're absolutely right. If gameplay is going on in a basketball game, I have to be watching every single movement on the court. Every single movement. Because let's say number 7 passes it to number 12 and number 12 scores. I have to announce who scored the basket and who assisted, usually. So I got to really be paying attention to get all that shit down. And if anybody taps me on the shoulder, tries talking to me, I always have to I have to keep my eyes on the game while I'm talking to him. Yeah, what is it? I'm watching at the same time. Oh, you cannot that's the only rule. Do not take your eye off the court. And then you got to pay attention to personal fouls on every player. You have to pay attention to team fouls. You have to constantly be talking to the referee. And the referee, typically, if there's like a coach's challenge or something like that, they have to come over to me and explain what's going on the court so that I can announce it on the PA. And there's people talking to me and a ref's trying to get me to pay attention. And it's unbelievable. Now, hockey, on the other hand, this is what I do. Okay, easy. Read number 5. I read number 5, and then it's done. The game starts, play again, and I pick up my phone and start fucking reading Reddit. That's how that works. Chris says there will be a spotter for me. Well, that makes life easier. I have done soccer before. I did it with, what was the name of that team? There was a Grand Rapids team that went belly up. Chris, do you remember the name of that team? GRFC. That's all they were known by was GRFC? I did that for a little bit, and then that dried up. And then I said, sorry, we somebody else is going to do it. I don't know who the fuck they had do it, but it wasn't that great. I wasn't really feeling that gig. But I'm excited about this one. So thanks for having me. Okay, folks, if you're watching the show on Facebook, X, YouTube, it's time for you to go. But if you want the rest of the show, it's on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or download the Twitch app today on your mobile device. Search Eric Zane Live, and there I am, the rest of the show, ready to go. The audio podcast is available wherever you download shows, and I have a Patreon that is up right now that you can sign up for free for 7 days for tonight's Big Fraud Thursday, featuring Who Are These Free Beers and the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. And I think on Patreon, we're going to open up the can of worms on a new show, a new review show called Who Are These Stephen Kyles? So that's all coming up on Patreon. We're not doing Who Are These Stephen Kyles anytime soon, but that's another thing that's kind of like in my brain right now, along with the Jimmy and Amanda Sex podcast. So anyway, Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane for 7 days free. Sign up with a payment form. Cancel it right after, like literally right after, and then you still get the 7 days free. I do that so that there's no chance you'll be charged inadvertently. When your 7 days runs out, you can always sign up again if you actually want the content to pay for it. That's totally fine. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thanks for enjoying the show on Facebook, or this portion of the show on Facebook, X, and YouTube.